What's up, world? Let me tell you about this beard growth oil I got from 12 tribes on Earth. 8 ounces of oily goodness with a nozzle that prevents sprays and spills, and soft ingredients that make it perfect addition to anyone's morning routine. From coconut to castor, all these oils are hand chosen. After using this herbal blend, the biggest thing I noticed is how soft and how strong my hair was, and how good I feel. Pick up your bottle today and make your beard the star of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, our young people are struggling out here to pay these student loans. And the number is growing each and every month. You're talking about millions of people that have defaulted, and they're saying millions more will be defaulting over these next few months. And what it can do to the economy, which they said will bring down the GDP. So it's unaffordable. And, not to mention, I saw articles as far back, I think like February or March, where it said since Trump came in office, some people are paying way more. Some people are saying their bills have doubled, and some said tripled since Donald Trump been in office, and he's been doing all those executive orders. And the sad part is there is no lifeline coming to people that owe on these student loans. If you remember, the Republicans were opposed to doing anything to help the people. It was Joe Biden that was putting the pauses on. And the Republicans said, y'all should not get any help at all. So Donald Trump, he is not going to offer you no help, but he'll definitely go up on your monthly bill. So let's get into this article. Millions of student loan borrowers are behind on payments. What it means for the economy. After a roughly 5-year hiatus, student loan borrowers are once again seeing their credit scores plunge if they fall behind on payments. Economists say it could be bad news for borrowers and the economy at large. A recent report from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York found the delinquency rate for student loans surged from less than 1% in the fourth quarter of 2024 to nearly 8% in the first quarter this year as a pause on reporting delinquent loans ended. That sent some credit scores into a free fall, making it more difficult for borrowers to secure affordable loans or pull off major purchases. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York said more than 2.2 million newly delinquent student loan borrowers' credit scores plunged more than 100 points. More than 1 million had scores drop at least 150 points. We could see millions of borrowers potentially locked out of the conventional mortgage market. They could see the cost of a car loan double. They could find it harder to find rental housing, said Aisa Conchola Banez, the policy director at the Student Borrower Protection Center, an advocacy group focused on alleviating student loan debt. The immediate harm, but also the long-term harm, is just massive. Why are student loan delinquencies on the rise? The federal government's pandemic-era student loan payment pause lifted in September 2023, but it wasn't until the fall of 2024 that payments at least 90 days past due could be reported to credit bureaus. Those delinquencies started appearing on credit reports in 2025. As of the first quarter, Nearly 1 in 4 student loan borrowers required to make payments were behind on their loans, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Much of that surge could be driven by confusion around loan payments restarting, according to Beth Akers, a senior fellow who focuses on the economics of higher education at the American Enterprise Institute, a conservative think tank. The pause, which began under President Donald Trump's first administration, was extended multiple times under former President Joe Biden. Meanwhile, online rumors claimed all student loans had been permanently canceled under Biden. Biden did attempt to forgive $400 billion worth of student debt, but the plan was ultimately struck down by the Supreme Court. For a long time, I think borrowers thought their loans were canceled or that they'd never have to repay them. And I don't blame anyone for believing that, Akers said. We really confused the heck out of Borinome. In an average year, about 1 million people enter default, Blagg said. And what we've had is almost 5 years of students not getting to that default period. So you can think of this being almost a buildup of folks who would have defaulted during that time, who are just now reaching that point. About 5.6 million borrowers were considered newly delinquent in the first quarter of 2025. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York in March estimated that more than 9 million student loan borrowers will face significant credit score decreases by the end of June. What does this mean for the economy? Economists warn restarted payments and sinking credit scores could deliver another hit to an economy that has already shown signs of slowing this year. It's another potential drag, Blagg said. We don't have a good sense of how big it is compared to all the other things that are going on in the moment. But anytime there's a dollar spent servicing loans, it's a dollar that's not being put into the economy or saved for a big purchase. Morgan Stanley economists estimate increased loan payments could lower real GDP growth by up to 0.15 percentage points this year as payments increase by $1 billion to $3 billion per month. Their May 5th report says the GDP impact is relatively small, but describes this as another headwind for consumers. If a borrower is more than 270 days behind on their loan, the Education Department lays out 3 options to get out of default. Repay the loan in full, not practical for most borrowers. Loan rehabilitation. Borrowers can contact the loan holder and agree in writing to make 9 affordable monthly payments within 20 days of a set due date, all within 10 consecutive months. Loan consolidation. Borrowers agree to repay a new direct consolidation loan under an income-driven repayment plan or make 3 full consecutive voluntary on-time monthly payments on the defaulted loan before it is consolidated. While this option is faster, accrued interest is added to the principal balance, which could have borrowers paying more overall.
Y'all, I hope if you are dealing with this situation that you get through it and be able to pay off your student loan. That's why so many people are upset saying, they feel it's a big ripoff because they graduate from college and then can't find work. And that's been an ongoing problem, but it's a deliberate problem. They have done that on purpose in this country. But College enrollment is down. A lot of people are saying they don't want this debt. They'll just find something else to do. They don't want this debt hanging over them for the next 10, 15 years. And it is ridiculous. College should not even cost that much. In many countries, it's free. And it was free here until Reagan got in office and changed it. But you know how it is. They always want to make things difficult for us. That's the whole purpose. And paying, they believe if people got to pay, we won't be able to afford it. But y'all, tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.